Hi, so I would like you to think about a time when you were making dinner and cutting your produce. Did you happen to think about what you could be doing with the scraps from your dinner? If you have, I would like to introduce you to vermicomposting, where you could turn scraps like these into nutritious fertilizer like this. It'd be great for your houseplants, even starting a garden to grow your own produce. And I'll show you the steps on how to begin it, how to maintain it, and also how to harvest the great nutritious fertilizer. I'll even mention some of the great benefits along the way as well. I'll be using pictures from thespruce.com because unfortunately I didn't have any bins laying around. I will be educating you on how to use the 2-bin setup like this. I do have mine set up a different way, which I'll show pictures at the end, but this is the most common way for uh, the homemade bins. So you'll get 2 bins like this, which are like 15 gallons, I believe I started off with. You'll need two, one to catch the drainage, and the main one to hold all the soil and the worms as well. I did put 2 bricks at the bottom of mine to help relieve the suction that will happen from it getting heavy over time. You will begin with drilling holes. They say like 1/8 holes would be best. I didn't measure mine when I did it because I was a beginner. I did put screen over mine to protect it from flies going in. You'll do it all the way around the top as well as at the bottom for the drainage. Next, you'll be discussing the bedding, which you could use anything. I used dried soil from pots. I done dead leaves, lawn clippings. You'll see people use newspapers as well as egg cartons, cardboard. Any of that is great beginning for it because it's dry enough to absorb the wetness, but it gives them some room to move around. You'll be selecting your worms, which would be red wigglers are the most common ones because they do eat like as much weight as they weigh. So if you have a lot of scraps, I would suggest them. I have night crawlers in mind since I do go camping and fishing. It only makes sense for me to use those. They eat like half of their weight, but as long as it gets done and I get fertilizer and night crawlers all in one time, it's a win-win for me. And then how to maintain them would be to feed them. These are the do's and don'ts on what to feed them. I feed them all my scraps as long as it's not dairy or meat. Sometimes they say don't do citrus. I've done citrus on Halloween. I'll put my jack-o'-lantern in there. It'll take them 2 weeks to eat it, depending how many worms you do have. Eggshells, I wash mine out and grind them up so they're a little finer, and that helps them digest their food, as well as coffee grounds. You could even put the filter for the coffee in there as well. They seem to love cauliflower, like more of the watery kind of vegetables and fruits. So I do like cucumber, celery. I've done watermelon. Just be careful with the unwanted bugs coming in on that. That's why I did the screen around mine. Another great step to maintaining them is watering. You wouldn't think to water worms, but they do breathe through their skin. And if their soil is dry, they will die out. You want to water it enough just to keep them being able to move. If it does get too watery, you'll notice they'll come out on the top and sit there. So that's when I'll like throw in some dried leaves just to help let them have some breathing room, as well as absorb the water and help with the maintaining of that. On harvesting, it's pretty simple. I would just open up my bin, let the sun, because since they don't like the sun, they would move down, and I would take as the soil as I needed from the top. If I wanted to start a bin all over again, I would just dump it out. The worms will still wiggle their way out down, and then I would just scoop the soil off of them and to find them and then put them back into the bin. The great benefits of this is you get nutritious soil. It has nitrogen in it. The structure and texture of the soil is more beneficial. It retains water. It reduces erosion. And for you keep trash out of landfills. They say janeusa.com states that 70% of waste that goes into landfills can be either recycled or composted. So you get the benefit of you knowing that you did your part in keeping this world going. It also helps reduce greenhouse gases since you're not throwing all that waste away. And so I hope this is education enough to help you get your vermicomposter started. And here are the pictures of my vermicompost. I put mine straight into my garden bed because then, as you see, the holes in the side of it, they go in and out of the garden bed as they please. I do keep leaves on top of mine just to make sure bugs and any other animals don't come in. And I left like an inch at the top so it's easier for me to open and close it. And I spray painted mine because I only had a clear container to protect them from the sun. But that's how I have mine set up. It's easy enough, it's beneficial enough for where I feel more beneficial than the work I have to put in. So if you have any questions or if you want to take a chance, go for it. I suggest you do. I hope. Thank you guys for listening. Bye.